There's something that's been on my mind lately. How do we know if what we feel deeply, spiritually, is actually genuine? I'm talking about prayer, moments of stillness, that deep sense of connection to something greater than ourselves. If you live in the US, chances are you've been to a church service, or at least seen one. You've probably watched people praying with intensity, singing with passion, hands lifted high, completely immersed in the moment. And in many modern churches, that sense of connection is heightened through an entire atmosphere. Music, lighting, community. It's powerful, it's emotional, and it absolutely enhances the feeling of being close to God. And I don't think people are faking their experience. I mean, I was one of them for many years. People aren't showing up every Sunday just to put on a show. They genuinely believe that they're connecting with God. That sense of intimacy, it feels real. But here's the hard question. Just because we feel something deeply, does that automatically make it true? One of the simplest ways to challenge our assumptions is to look outside our own faith traditions. Other religions pray too. They seek divine connection. They experience peace, guidance, conviction, awe. Take this for example. Now, compare that to this. Different beliefs, similar depth. So which one's real? Which one's right? If you're like most people of faith, and I do mean most, you probably believe your religion is the true one. That means by default, others must be wrong. But do they look like they believe it's wrong? Think about that. The world's largest religions, Christianity, Islam, Hinduism, Buddhism, Sikhism, represents billions of people. That's billions of people who feel just as sure, just as spiritually connected as you do. Are they all lying? Or deluded? Because if we're being honest, their experiences don't seem any less real. Their prayers aren't less heartfelt. Their connection doesn't feel less valid, and that should give us pause. It doesn't mean your experience is invalid, but it does mean emotional certainty isn't proof. This is where psychology comes in, because our brain can absolutely deceive us. Take the placebo effect. Doctors have seen patients experience real relief, sometimes even physical healing, after taking pills with no active ingredients, sugar pills, fake treatments. But the belief that the pill works is strong enough to cause real changes in the body. Pain fades, symptoms improve. It's not fake, it's felt. So if believing alone can trigger healing, could it also create the feeling of a divine presence? That peace after a prayer, that voice in your mind, that moment where you just know God is there. Maybe it's real, or maybe it's the spiritual version of a sugar pill, something that feels powerful because you believe it is. My goal here isn't to tear down your faith. It's to get you to think more deeply about it, to wrestle with the possibility that what feels true isn't always actually true. I'll end with a personal story. As a kid, I used to pray every night, lying in my bed. I talked to God, and I heard Him respond back. Not out loud, but in thoughts, in words that appeared in my mind. But even as a kid, I thought, wait, I think I could just be making up God's responses. You see, I was right to question Him. And so are you, because honest faith, if it's truly honest, should be strong enough to stand up to doubt. Asking hard questions doesn't mean you're losing faith. It might mean you're finally starting to understand it.